Hi, this is a video introducing the OtterGrader system and how it works. So here we have an example notebook from my class at UC Berkeley. So OtterGrader, what it will do is it will create this initial cell automatically. So you're just initializing the OtterGrader system. And you also have your normal import cell. Yeah, so look over here, we have a question that a student might want to try to answer. And they're asked what the probability the marble you're given is a large shiny marble. For example, the answer is actually 4 out of 13, but let's just say the student ends up putting 1. What a student will see is that they are failing a couple of test cases. One is that the probability should be between 0 and 1, and also that they're failing some mysterious hash lib test case. Let's just say they try to hack the system and then they just want to pass this case, right? 5 out of 13. That should be able to pass the case, and as you can see, it will. But over here, they have no way of knowing what the solution may be because of how we sort of embed the hash function. And that'll be shown in this future video as well. Let's just say we end up putting the correct answer. Now OtterGrader would just tell us that our answer is correct. Now, if you just give me a second, yeah. So this general process of just completing some problems, as you can see over here, and also passing them will occur for pretty much this entire notebook until the end. So once the student sort of knows that they're done and has finished all their questions, now there should be a submission cell that's also auto-generated by OtterGrader. And what this will just show you is that first it will just tell the student that, hey, all of our test cases have passed. But also it has one other important capability, which it allows us to generate a zip file. And if I try to download this, yeah, it should just be sent to my downloads bar. Yeah, and what this will do is that once the instructor has the zip file, they'll be able to look at the student's work and be able to determine if it's valid or not. All right, next, I'll be going over a bit of like a small overview of the OtterGrader notes. Yeah, so this is supposed to be a simple guide. The background information is sort of relevant, but isn't really super necessary. It should provide some pretty good information if you guys would like to expand on the foundation that I have already created. And we'll also sort of have like a brief auto pipeline. So in general, what we'll do is we already have a private notebook, or we'll create a new one. What the instructor will do is now add in OtterGrader cells and test cases to the notebook. Once that's done, the instructor would then run a special command in terminal, which you can use with either CoCalc or VS Code. And what this would do is create a new folder containing the instructor's version with solutions and a student's version without solutions. Next, the student would then complete the student version, and then Otter would check their work, and then also generate a zip file, which the student can use for submission. And next, the instructor will receive all the zip files, which will indicate that we're sort of done with this whole process and our work is done. Here are some useful installations for VS Code if you guys would like to do this locally. But in general, CoCalc will already have most of the things downloaded, so you might not have to worry about downloading any special Python packages or anything if you decide to use CoCalc or perhaps Google Colab. Here is sort of an in-depth workflow for implementing Otter in notebooks, and feel free to read this, but we'll also go over this in a later video. Yeah, so in general, you'll be opening a copy of a notebook you want to use the Otter in, and ideally you should already have some solutions incorporated into it. The first step is mainly just adding a new cell with this sort of assignment configuration. It should be just copy paste this and this should be fine. But this assignment configuration, if you want more information on it, can have like a lot of cool things that you could try to implement. Next, for questions that we want graded, what we can do is sort of wrap it around with some comments. So for this question, from one of our previous notebooks, we want to find the length of this string. And what we can do is sort of insert a raw cell that has hashtag begin question above it. And the solution will be also wrapped around with begin solution. And the last component is the begin tests and end tests. And we can sort of have some assert statements or like another function, or yeah, that should be good enough. And then sort of what this will do is tell OtterGrader, hey, this question should be graded. And OtterGrader will take care of the rest. You also know that over here I have sort of another hashtag around the solution. And what OtterGrader does, it's pretty smart. It will sort of uncomment for the instructor, it will keep the 5 over here, which is the solution. But for the student copy of whatever doc is made, it will sort of just put 5. Instead of 5, it will put a couple of dots, showing that that's something that the student should be able to should try to complete. Yeah. And I sort of have some progress / next steps and sort of some links that should be that could be pretty useful.